It's a privilege to be a Rotarian.
And I think we are making an impact, have over the 100+ years since Paul Harris founded it, but we are still making an impact on an international level, and we do locally.
Serve above self is that object of Rotary that encourages and that pushes us out into the community.
Service above self. Rotarians have been living up to that motto for over a century. Through local, regional, and international fellowship, Rotarians have reached out with their hearts and their means to make the world a better place. From tackling the eradication of diseases like polio and Alzheimer's to supporting educational excellence through loans, grants, and opportunities for students in foreign countries, Augusta's Rotarians are part of an international service organization that continues to make a difference. It all started in September of 1914 when a group of Augusta businessmen started their first meeting at the Albion Hotel on Broad Street and formed the Rotary Club of Augusta. Only 9 years after Rotary began in Chicago, the Augusta Club was sponsored by the Savannah Club, which had been founded only 9 months earlier.
It started out as a meeting of business and professional people, and it was not Rotary. It evolved into a Rotary Club.
It grew into also being a service organization. And so you got both service and fellowship wrapped into one club.
Soon, Rotary would help formulate other worthwhile endeavors, such as bringing the Boy Scouts to Augusta and Junior Achievement.
So many other things, Boy Scouts has been going on since the country was here, but it actually was started in the 1900s in this country. It started off in England and then came over here, but somebody had to get it started in the local areas. And as I understand, Rotary took the initiative to do that. Once it got started, it's on its own. And we're not saying we carry it at all now. We probably do some contribution. Another one is the Junior Achievement. I understand it initiated that. Many people can remember when the federal government did not provide loans for students. It was difficult. Many students did not go to college in those days, could not get the money. Rotary started a student loan program here. Now, once again, Rotary initiated it. As it grew, then also other people got interested in loan programs. Banks got into it, the federal government got into it, and it grew to the point where Rotary loan money was no longer needed for students.
And if you go back and you look at the first group of men that started Rotary, they were giants of men in Augusta, and that's our legacy. One of the things about Rotary that I think is key and is critical to the success of Rotary, and why we continue need to have Rotary, is just the object of Rotary, which is service above self. That is that's an ideal that we quote and promote and look at on our emblems every day in our meeting.
You'll find Rotarians out helping various clubs, nonprofit clubs or charitable type organizations on the local. But on the worldwide, you'll find Rotarians involved in trying to get pure water into locations that don't have water. There's many kinds of service projects as there are Rotary clubs.
Through districts worldwide, Rotary members benefit from regular meetings where attendance is required.
Attendance is very important in Rotary. It's the only civic organization that has attendance rules. Back when I joined Rotary in 1955, it was expected that we have 100% attendance. And I believe back then that the members in the club, all members had 100% attendance.
The mandatory attendance that we had for so many years is important because it helps people to build the relationships that they want to have within the club. And that allows you to build relationships in your professional arena as well as your personal one. When I first got in, we used to sing a song in the beginning, and we had a wonderful lady that would come in and play the piano. And gradually we began to start reciting the four-way test, which I think is good for all of us because it's a reminder of what Rotary is about and what our purpose is. One thing that has always been important to me is that I think that Rotarians treat the speakers with great respect. and they make an effort to go up and speak to the speakers afterwards and to thank them. And one of the things that also has remained the same that I think is good, and this is a form of respect, is whenever a new member is introduced, the entire club stands up and gives them an ovation and welcomes them. And I think that's a very important thing for us to do.
The people that are on the dais speaking are extremely learned, extremely polished. And as a young person, because I joined when I was 33 or 34, it just put me in a whole different arena. It just showed me how people are supposed to act and how they're supposed to behave. And it's helped me in my life a lot.
When I came into Rotary, I was just out of graduate school, 30 years old at the time, and new to the community. But yet that fellowship enabled me to identify and to meet leaders in the community who served as models and encouragers for me.
Rotary is not only varied in its range of meeting speakers, but it also has a diverse membership, which has grown throughout the years.
We don't realize how diversified and the makeup of Rotary until you go to an international convention and see members from all different parts of the world. That's where we really get the knowledge of how diversified and how worldwide Rotary is.
To have been asked to be the second female president of the Rotary Club of Augusta was definitely a major honor for me. Joining the Rotary Club as a woman was new at that time, and however, I had so many friends who were both business colleagues and friends who worked within the community as volunteers that I felt right at home.
Rotary made a huge impact on the effort to stamp out polio. Today, thanks to the efforts of members worldwide, the debilitating disease has almost been eradicated.
Well, they developed the polio vaccine back in the 80s, 1987, 6 or 7. And a club in the Philippines got the idea that they would give vaccine to the babies in that particular part of the Philippines and eradicate polio. And they did. And back then there were about 300,000 cases of polio worldwide. And that evolved into Rotary International adopting this program and promoting it worldwide. And now there are less than 1,000 cases of polio worldwide, and it's been eradicated in all countries except 3.
It was because Rotary had clubs in those various countries. Those clubs had leaders who could interface with the religious leaders or the governmental leaders and try to help them come to understand this was really a helpful situation. This actually happened in one province in India where I visited. A Rotarian, a district governor, was able to work with the clerics to get their support. Once they got their support, it took right off.
Throughout its history, the Augusta Rotary Club has developed and supported many worthwhile endeavors. Entities such as the Paul Harris Fellowship and the James M. Hull Fund are just 2 local success stories.
When I became a Paul Harris Fellow, it was like I had arrived as a Rotarian, that someone thought enough of me, or some folks thought enough of me, to put up $1,000 to honor me as a Paul Harris Fellow. That was a terrific thing. I've had the honor to participate in honoring other people. It's the easiest check in the world to write.
One of the great things about our club is years ago we started a fund that made loans to med students and college students in the area.
And when I came to this club in 1986, the corpus was about $200,000. And we solicited money from our members to contribute to this fund. But we had a member to die, and he left a sizable amount of his estate into this fund, and now the corpus is about close to $500,000.
Through the years, the whole fund has evolved from strictly making loans to getting into other arenas. With the horrible tsunami or earthquake in Haiti, the whole fund challenged the Rotary Club of Augusta to meet us dollar for dollar. Every dollar they would raise, we would match it. And as a result of that, I'm very pleased to tell you we were able to send 56,000 meals to children.
With a worldwide membership of over 1 million members, Rotary continues to create positive and lasting change in our communities. There are many challenges that lay ahead, but like past hurdles, this organization will surely succeed.
All three of those aspects of Rotary, that's fellowship, that's service, and this education, contribute to the growth of the individuals who are in it, more than just growth, to their capability of serving a wider community, of serving the world. In the case of Rotary, it serves the world.
Yeah, Rotary International and Rotary in our club, you know, most of the time what we see in our own club is just what we're doing in Augusta, and that's significant. You know, we sponsored an Interact Club. So we influence the lives of high school students at Richmond Academy, encouraging them to serve. We sponsor our Rotaract Club at Payne College. Every year we have a foreign student that comes and studies in our community that we sponsor. We pay for them to come, and they're in our club on a weekly basis, informing us and giving us an international outlook. You know, all the other things that we do, financially supporting so many areas in the community. Those are real important things that the club does right now. And you know, I think the other thing is Rotary, that the area that we maybe don't see as much is what we do, what Rotary's doing internationally, and that's things like the CART Fund, which is where we're the #3 club in the world in giving money to the Alzheimer's Research Fund. But then the Rotary Foundation, through its efforts to eliminate polio and just worldwide projects, you know, that Rotary does so many things that you know, we need to just continue those on.
Rotary's members look back on a proud heritage, yet focus on the future as they continue to address relevant worldwide issues in the 21st century and beyond. World peace, international understanding, health, literacy, education, all of these are important initiatives that Rotarians have stimulated both locally and internationally. The club looks forward to continuing this honorable tradition of making the world a better place as it begins its 2nd century. For over 100 years, the Rotary Club of Augusta has lived up to its motto, service above self.